It is us.
It is I, and it is him.
Bliss is back.
The him.
Mighty's back.
The him.
Will we ever quit? Who knows?
On a whim. What's something you went through recently, Bliss, that kind of put you down and you were able to kind of overcome that?
Man, I'm always putting myself down, to be honest with you. I always go through adversities every single day of my life. I'm always questioning what I'm doing. I'm always having a fucking bummy ass energy moment. Sometimes they last long. Sometimes it's just a quick 10 minutes like we talked about one time.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some days where it's just like the entire day is just low energy.
So what's the one main thing that's able to pull you out of that little spot, that little rut, and then just kind of make you flourish throughout the rest of the day? Like, do you have like a specific thing you kind of go to that you kind of think about that is able to kind of bring you back to life, or is it more of like, I'll just kind of push through it throughout the day and then wake up tomorrow and...
To be honest, usually I don't even know what brought my energy down. So once I realize I'm in that like low point,
right?
So I'm there, right? In my brain, I'm there at that low point. Then it's like I end up just either if I start writing music, my energy will start going back up, or if I kind of just pause and like see where I'm at. So like, okay, family's good, check coming in on Friday. You know what I'm saying? Just something like that. That might bring me back. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I guess, does that explain why my energy was low?
No, it doesn't explain why, but it explains like how you get your energy back.
Right. Yeah, I'm not sure I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like being numb. You know what I'm saying? Because like the music keeps me alive, right?
Right.
Things keep me alive in my life, but sometimes you hit a point where it's just like, wait, everything's going so good, or everything's going too smooth. And it's like, this is kind of weird. Why am I floating right now? Why am I in just an empty space when I should be in this full space full of everything I got going on?
Do you think that's because we get too complacent in doing such positive in our lives that we kind of need to balance out with some negative? Like just a human reaction?
Yeah, like you hear a lot about people like do things to feel alive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like that can be anything from like, and I don't do this, but like cutting yourself. Some people do that, right? Some people jump out of a plane. You know what I'm saying? It just gives them that feeling of life again. And I don't know if it's, like I said, like are we just get into this numbness feeling?
Right. Like we kind of need to chase that again.
Regardless if life is going well.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
What do you feel about that? Like what I said about some people chase maybe the emotional part of it. Some people chase maybe the adrenaline. You know what I mean?
So they're either chasing a feeling or a thought, in a way. So it seems like you get rid of your moods by either doing a hobby. Right.
My music or something.
Mm-hmm. And then sitting back and analyzing, okay, yeah, my life is good. Let me turn this.
Because what does make me feel better, even thinking about it now? Knowing that, like I said about the check coming in on Friday, knowing that I'll have that check to come in to either catch up or to pay bills that I have coming up.
Right.
And that to me is just a blissful feeling. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
less not stress. I think that goes for a lot of people, right?
I think it just takes a little bit of weight off the shoulders of just being like, okay, I'm still good. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. But see, that's kind of weird. That goes against what I was just saying about some people chase kind of a high, to get that feeling back.
I wouldn't say it goes against it, but I get what you're saying.
Isn't that kind of weird how me having things in line, having things in order kind of balances me out again? Like, what balances you out?
Oh my God.
Fuck. What do you think? Like, I've seen you at your lows and I've seen you at your highs. Think back to like a low and try to remember some sort of energy or some sort of memory or something that kind of like leveled you out a little bit.
As in, if I'm high up there in energy and then it leveled me out, or if I'm low up there in energy and it leveled me out to be good.
Well, like, okay, let me try to like put this visually. So
let's go.
like let's just say, you know, the airplanes that go up take you into the atmosphere, then you experience 0 G,
Right.
and then you come back down, and then it's like, right. So I kind of feel like that numbing feeling is when you're at the 0 G, and that's where either, depending on how much experience you have with yourself, that's where either it's gonna hit you hard and you're gonna have a low, an extreme low,
Right.
or you can balance yourself out and continue to just maintain. You know what I mean? So like, what in your life experiences, what caused you to just maintain after you reach that numb feeling?
To be honest, it's always been like, if I'm able to kind of like get really hype, for some reason that's always been something for me that's just kind of like, if I'm going through something, like,
Where
if
you're
I get
going through
hype about
something, you
anything-
see that skin.
yeah, exactly. No, exactly. Like if I'm hype in a situation, no matter what I'm going through, like if I feel like if I'm able to like boost my adrenaline or like hype myself up, it just like everything else kind of flushes away, and I'm able to kind of like.
So
realize-
if you could refine that dog or what, or is that's like a different thing?
That's another category. You know what I mean? Because that dog is that.
So
is
if you
that-
could just get excited for something, or
Yeah, like if I can get excited for something, because like whenever I get in my moods, like, you know what I mean, it just feels like I'm so dead or like emotionless to so many things that I love. So when I get into those points of like I'm seeing things and I'm just like not even reacting positively, I'm like, fuck, man, like, this is hitting
right.
me.
So me right now, I'm gonna go to you because I gotta add some context, but I'm gonna go back to you real quick, or I'm going to me. I'm gonna add some context, and we're gonna go back to you. So for me, I kind of just rebalanced myself after that numb. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I know for a fact I just went through a day, a couple days, a month, I don't know, of just, and not with this year. It
Right,
was
right,
like
right.
November, maybe December, where I was just like, fuck. You know what I'm saying? It was just not
Everything
cool.
was
It
just
was,
the uphill battle.
it was just, I was just cruising at that point. No,
Right.
no emotion. Right. So I rebalanced myself. I refound purpose. Right. I just found like a drive. You know what I mean? So that little flame that we got inside of us is like, for me, it's burning
Starting to ignite.
that much more
Yeah,
for me. So,
yeah.
so for me, I feel like I'm back on that roller coaster. Right. I feel like I'm going up again.
Feel that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
So you're about to hit that 0G again.
right. So I'm not at that point where, oh shit, I'm getting numb again.
Right.
Shit's, I don't know, family. It's just weird energy because when you get there, everything seems to just negative energy or
Feel
like
that. Like you're just hypersensitive
this,
to
this.
all that bullshit.
Right. So for me, I feel like I'm just past that. And this life consists of just lows, highs, and everything in between. Right?
Right.
So right now, I feel like I'm just in the in between.
In
You know what I
between.
mean? I'm not in a super high. I'm not in a super low. I'm not in that empty feeling. I'm just right in there somewhere. You know what I mean?
We'll call that the gray zone.
So with that being said, where are you at right now?
It's a very good question. Wow. Honestly, like with everything going on, I will say that, you know, I really was expecting to have a fight at the end, or around like the 23rd or 24th of like February, which is be kind of like towards the end of this month.
Right.
So I got really excited for that, and then so it got pushed to March 11th. And
This is a little bit news for me because I assumed this whole time your next fight was March 11th.
Right, so this is news to you right now. So I got pushed out again. I
So
think to March
initially it
24th.
was February.
Yeah, so initially we tried to do like a February 20th, or it was like 20th to 24th or something like that. It was a Friday or a Saturday.
It's
And-
only like 2.5 weeks. March 11th from February.
Right.
So it's not like
it's only
that
2 weeks. Yeah,
far,
so
right?
it's nothing crazy, but it still pushed it out. But it's still more of like, damn, like it just gave me more time And usually, like, I do better in crunch time.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, like, kind of gave me a little bit more leeway.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was, like, a couple areas in my daily routines where I kind of slipped because I knew I had extra time. And that's more of, like, why am I doing that? If I really want this, why? So I'm starting to catch myself in that zone of, that gray zone of kind of being, like, maybe that zero gravity part.
Is it the numbing a little bit numb right now? Where there's not, like, an immediate... There's nothing... You don't have to do anything immediately.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's nothing to push you to where, oh, shit, it's coming up.
Right, exactly.
Right? You're kind of in that spot right now where it's like...
Zero G.
Like, I got to make my own choice. I got to motivate myself in this moment.
Exactly.
This empty moment, right, to get to where I want to get to.
I mean, even when I'm not motivated, as long as I get the ball rolling in the thing I'm not motivated in, I'll find motivation eventually, which will then kick in my overdrive, and then my dog will kick in. And then that's when I'll just hammer nail.
I know you like when the dog kicks in, because I see you every day. You're like, man, I've never been so motivated. Let's get this.
Yeah,
like, you're just
you know me.
lit.
Yeah, you know me.
Like that little fire I was just talking about that I had. Yours is just
raging fire. Yours is like smoldering
fire. Right. Side note, I appreciate you telling me when the official date was, because instead of telling me, oh, I got to fight on February, you just told me the March one. So I appreciate that.
Well, the March 11th, but now it's to March 24th.
Bliss and busy. I don't need to be knowing multiple dates.
Not 2 weeks ahead, boy. You good. You know what I'm talking about? You good.
So that's cool. But, so when do you think, just thinking about it, when is that moment? So not talking about you and your mental right now. When is that moment where, so fight's on March 11th, right? Best case scenario, fight happens.
No, March 24th.
March 24th?
Yeah, so it got pushed again.
Oh,
I was going to have that March 11th fight in Flagstaff, which I was kind of like lit about.
So then they pushed it?
But then we pushed it again, so March 24th. But
this time.
Yeah, but this time it'll be in Phoenix at the Stratus again, so.
That's a lot better, because you have a lot of people that want to go.
Exactly.
Flagstaff was kind of like...
I had a couple people that said that they would go to the Flagstaff one, but I'm not trying to put that on y'all, to be honest. Like, you know what I mean? But if y'all want to come out that far and, you know, I mean, that's on y'all. I mean, but that's pretty dope.
Right. So, so fight is on March 24th. Right?
Yes.
You just said, okay, so when...
Best case scenario.
When's that moment when it does shift into gear and it's like, okay, wow, this is about to happen? Now is the time to focus.
For me...
Like, when is that... that's a personal thing, because it could be any time for anybody.
I think it just depends on where I'm at in the range of, like, rising, zero gravity, falling, but... Usually for me, a fight really kicks in about 2 weeks before it starts.
So that's when you're zeroing in.
Yeah, I'm starting to kind of like tunnel vision. Like I've tried to do it beforehand, and for some reason it just... It's like a weird mixture of life, yeah. And then I act differently in certain things, and then that throws off my energy. So in a fight, like if my energy is thrown off, then I'm thrown off.
So you said it kind of mixes with life.
Yeah.
So your way of living and everything changes within that last 2 weeks before a fight.
Right.
Why is that? What exactly?
I have to change my mentality, like.
So yes. Oh, so that's you zeroing in.
Yeah.
On what's going on.
Right.
That's you focusing. That's you.
Bang. Yeah.
Makes sense. Let me change this song real quick. So. Yeah, so that's kind of weird. So right now you're just... What is this moment we're in right now then? So you're about a month and a half away from your fight.
The moment we're in right now is I need to get motivated now, so I need to pick up that boulder and throw that bitch.
Right, and so let's just say you said about 2 weeks before the fight is when you're really zeroing in.
Right. So
what happens if you did that 3 weeks, 4 weeks in advance?
But that's what I was talking about earlier, was when I try to do that even further out than 2 weeks. I feel like that's when it starts to collide with my life, and then that's when I get a little thrown off.
Yeah, that would be kind of weird. I'm trying to like visualize that, and it is kind of weird trying to like, all right, full steam ahead, shooting for that 24th date, and you got a bunch of shit going on throughout the month.
Yeah,
like just for example, baby shower. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
just different things happening.
It's really hard to explain. That's something that you just kind of have to live through and
people are inviting you out on the weekends. It's like, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it just
it's a lot of energy.
Yeah,
it's a lot of different energy
Yeah.
when you're trying to get your frequency on a certain like wavelength.
Yeah.
And you got all this different energy just.
Yeah, just mashing and mushing and it's just mixing. It's just.
It's like if you had your own little puddle or pond, and all these other rocks are just flying in there.
Right. Exactly.
And you got a bunch of little waves, big
just
waves.
Little ripples and,
Instead of having your own place and you have your own rock. I'm getting really deep into this visual shit.
Yeah, you're supposed to.
And then you got all your own little waves.
Right.
This is you. This is.
I'm able to focus, drop
in.
that, and have my own ripples instead of having. I have to focus on this and this and that and this and this and that.
It's like, hey, you coming to the baby shower? Boom, there's a rock. Right.
Hey, you coming out this weekend? Boom, there's a rock. Hey, you want to grab lunch this week? Boom, there's a rock. Like,
right. Game night?
Like,
boom, there's a rock.
Exactly. Like, no, honestly, like, whenever it comes to fighting and I have, like, 2 weeks out, for me, it's like, I don't hang out with nobody. I don't do shit. I don't
That was actually going to be my next question. I was going to say, because, I mean, I really don't know. I have an idea, but, like, what is it? Do you really don't go out?
Yeah, I really
2 weeks?
Yeah, I really isolate myself from messaging people. For me, during that time is an all-time low.
And what if something important comes up though? Like what if it is something like a family birthday or you know what I'm saying? Like
it just depends on like what you know what I mean? It depends on what's going on because that's a 50-50 for me. Like what's important, you know what I mean?
Right. So but the important things, does that derail you?
No, not really, because it's just one thing and then I have to deal with that one thing for that one little bit of time and I'm done with it, compared to being like, oh, I gotta drag my energy out for this for such and such long. Attend it, and then it'll still drag my energy
right
even after the fact.
That's cool. Like this conversation's kind of giving me perspective for the bigger picture of things,
right?
For like anybody, any athlete, any artist, anybody,
right
like that zeroing in on their craft. They're about to have a release, they're about to have a fight, they're about to have a game. Any little thing, it's like we don't really think about it as much, but
I have to think about it.
Let's say somebody's family member goes to the hospital and they're about to go to a Super Bowl.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then it's like, we don't think of it much. They're like, bro, you're getting paid this much to play the game. Play the game.
Right.
But we don't think about it, right? Like, that throws off his whole focus.
Right.
You know, his whole frequency that he was on to play at the highest level at that Super Bowl is now derailed.
And his highest frequency, that was a really good way of putting it. For me, I had a big thing that happened for me over the, was it like a couple days ago?
Oh, okay. We want to talk about that?
Yeah, fuck it. It's an adversity. Fuck it. So the way that I came over a certain type of adversity that kind of, I'm glad that my fight got pushed because there was something that happened to me recently that kind of, it really derailed my motivation and my energy wise, kind of facing for to get into a fight, you know what I mean? But
it was significant enough to literally change your frequency.
Yeah, like literally. Right. Yeah. So right now I'm kind of in that point of kind of rewiring and refocusing, so I'm able to get back on track. But for those that don't know, I mean, haven't really shared or talked about it or anything. But my dad had a heart attack recently, and so yeah, just kind of dealing with that, like emotionally, mentally wise. My dad has always had like health problems, you know, like my whole life. So this is just another thing on top.
And this isn't his first time having heart problems, right?
Yeah, this is not his first time.
So just having more heart problems, for those that don't know, it just kind of just goes downhill from there. So having this happen at this point where Mighty should be zeroing in on his next fight, which would have been what, like February 24th, like you said, or March
20th or something.
March 11th. If it was one of those dates, this could have been something to like derail you, right?
Right.
A little bit.
Right.
Because it takes like a mental toll. As much as it doesn't really affect you physically, your mental actually does affect you physically. So
yeah, because it changes your energy around.
Right. So yeah, you just need that extra time to rebalance.
Yeah, I need to have my downtime and then bounce back up. So I need to feel what I'm feeling, understand why I'm feeling it, appreciate that I'm feeling what I'm feeling, and then learn to be grateful for that, which I am, and then move on from it.
Right.
You know what I mean? For me, it's always a step process. I can't try to jump a step because when I do that, it'll come back and hit me 10 times harder.
I took nuns to play soccer at the
I saw that. Oh, I love that.
park right here, and I seen your pops in my Corvette.
Dead.
Supercar just
My
like.
pops is crazy, man.
I was like, didn't that fool just like have like some heart issue or something? This fool's just
Well, he's living cruising life.
1,500 horsepower Corvette just chill.
Dead.
Like,
No,
all
for
right.
real, like, goddamn.
I'm like, hey.
That man needs to feel alive at all times. But yeah, this is just, going through things, and, this is just life. The older you get, the more you're going to experience, and it's always about finding who you are in life and what's your purpose, and I feel like I'm a few steps away. So with this derailing me just a little bit, it's fine, but, eventually everything will be, good again, and I have my motivation and my energy, and my dog is just want to keep barking and never stop.
Right, and I always talk about this. This is something I truly believe. I feel like all the stuff that happens in our life, whether it's negative, positive, I feel like this is all a part of life. And I feel like somewhere in there we should appreciate it. Even if it is bad, even if it is good.
Yeah, we have to.
This is life.
Yeah.
Right, we're still breathing. It's crazy. I even think about that, if you want to dig into that real quick. Like, how are we breathing right now? We're just like a bunch of millions of cells just
That's
here.
so funny. I think about that too every once in a while. Like,
This is impossible.
Yeah. Literally.
But yeah, like, this is my name. I'm Bliss for a reason. I chase my happiness. I believe that should be everyone's number one goal, just to be happy, right? So yeah, I just try to see the positive in the negative as much as I do the good.
Right.
You know
Makes
what I mean?
sense.
So like, yeah, when everything's all said and done, we're gonna be happy it happened. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. We're at least gonna be happy we got through that, and we're even stronger than we were coming in it.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, I always talk about it. But if you're new to hearing this, if I get old and I didn't pursue music, if I get old and I didn't try out this podcast, like, that's gonna crush me the most because I didn't try it. That regret that's my biggest fear. To get old and not to attempt to do anything that I want to attempt. There's gonna be things I can't do. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, you say can't. Hold on. I don't fuck with that word.
no, well, like, put it this way. Instead of saying that, things I can't do, there's going to be things I'm not interested in doing.
Oh, that's different.
Right? So, like in the music, there's plenty of things that, different professions, you know what I mean, that I would never really be interested in doing.
Right.
That I won't accomplish, but, you know what I mean? At least I tried to do the things that Yeah, speaking of music, I feel like shit's going really good recently.
I feel like they're going really, really good.
Like, I feel like they're going really good for me recently because I've had people that either are in the industry or are attempting to be in the industry hitting me up. So I have other rappers saying they want a feature. They've been asking me if I have any open verses. I've had beat makers say to check out their shit. Like, it's just cool.
That is really cool.
I just wanted to throw it out there because
it's just more of a community of the area that you're working in, just acknowledging you. So it's just
right, like
that.
It's like a weird question because, like, I always say I'm just me, right?
Right.
Like, could people really see the hustle? You know what I'm saying? Like,
you can't not, because you see what other people, the content other people put out, and then compared to the content, you know what I mean, you're releasing now. You
like,
can
it just
really
like
see the time and dedication that you really put towards it.
It's just hard to fathom sometimes. Like they see one post, how could they really see the whole grind? You know what I'm saying? Like,
and that's the
you
whole
know what I
thing.
mean or no?
That's
Like,
the whole thing. Like, they never will be.
Right, but you could confidently say that when people see my shit, they could see the hard work.
Yeah.
It's just cool. Like, I'm just Bliss.
So
like,
check it out.
Brandon.
In a world full of millions and millions of people trying to just do something online, a lot of people will try to shortcut and cut corners, and instead of having a perfect square, they're gonna have an oval. You know what I mean? Your ass is gonna have a fucking octagon. You're gonna add more fucking like it just it's crazy how much time you spend dedicating into your craft. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You know what
I mean, if I could find a shortcut, I'd fucking take it.
Yeah, but you only find a
mean?
shortcut like after the fact of doing the hard work first. You know what I mean? So you can understand what's going on, and then you make the shortcut. So you're able to, oh, okay, now I get it.
I do like the idea of having some sort of legitimacy before, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if I was, let's just say I was gonna sign a contract with a label, like, I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that without already, like, establishing myself a little bit.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't think I would like the idea of just a golden ticket. And it's funny because I say that now with the perspective of knowing who I was 10 years ago.
Right.
Imagine signing that kid 10 years ago to a contract. Come on, bro.
You weren't ready.
Homie didn't know anything.
Yeah. But you would have figured it out, though. That's the thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't regret anything. I love where I'm at.
Yeah, definitely.
You know the type of person I am, so I mean, I probably would have figured that out, right? But the life experiences I've had have really put me in a good spot, and I feel like if I ever did have some sort of shortcut, it kind of would have killed that a little bit. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have gained that work ethic, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, you're just older now, so you just understand things better. You know what I mean? I think they said that men's brains fully develop at 27, right? Like that 26, 27 is like our years.
I've heard that, yeah.
Yeah, it's like our years to where like men are just finally like, okay.
That's when they say that we officially stop growing or something.
Yeah.
I don't know
no,
how
it's just fully developed. So I mean, I don't
like mentally.
Yeah,
like your brain.
Yeah, it's like that's when we learn how to actually think as a man, and not a boy. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I could vouch for that.
I mean, I could vouch.
27's been a hell of a year. I'll tell you that. It's not over yet,
it's
but
halfway done, boy.
Yeah, I feel like 27 years old for me has been the equivalent of 20 to 26. I don't know. I just feel like I've had that understanding.
So 26, 27 has been, for me, has probably been like 18 to 25. Swear to God, like I've learned so much. I've done so much to just improve my way of thinking, to improve my quality of life, to improve what I want out of life and who I want to become in my life. Like back then, it was just like close my eyes, reaching in the dark. What do I grab? All right, let's go with this. You know what I mean? No, it's like nah, like this is what I want, and I'm gonna shine a light.
I've definitely enjoyed understanding a lot more than just absorbing.
Yeah, definitely.
Like just random shit. I guess
just anything.
Like anything entertainment. Like
it's got to be a specific entertainment.
I've found it very hard to just sit down and watch TV.
Yeah, I feel that.
Like,
oh my God.
I'll sit down. You know, we watched a couple things, but compared to the old Bliss, I am not in tune with Marvel anymore. Like barely.
Yeah, it's just too much now.
I'm not in tune with. I know there's like new Lord of the Rings that came out. I haven't seen it. There's a new Game of Thrones. What was it? The new Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon or some shit.
House of the Dragon.
I seen 2 episodes. It was super dope. I haven't found it in me to go back. It does, like, being busy does add a lot to that though.
Well, yeah,
you know
it just takes precedence over the things that you want to enjoy. Like, you know what I mean? Because you enjoy doing your grind more than you enjoy sitting down doing nothing and just watching somebody else's grind. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, that's what that is.
Yeah, I wanna give credit to it being 27 years old, right? But I can't disregard or discredit gym. Like, I cannot tell you how much going to the gym consistently changed for me. Like, I legit would credit everything I'm doing right now on that.
So you would say pretty much all your adversities wouldn't have been overcome the way you've overcame them if not had been going to the gym?
I think
if you not had been going to the gym?
Yeah, I think that only works for me specifically. It could be for other people too. But
right.
For me specifically, I think having self-confidence helped me a lot. I think that's what it is. So it wasn't necessarily really the gym.
It's like being able to walk with your chest down, your spine up. You know what I mean?
Like I feel like I'm executing a lot more and caring less about what people think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that feeling like I look good, feeling confident in my own skin, that goes exactly with that. Like, why would I care what anyone thinks? I mean, I feel good.
You know the way I handle shit. I don't give a damn what anybody thinks about me. I'm gonna do whatever.
I mean, you've kind of been like fit all your life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
No, I haven't. No, I haven't.
Shut the fuck
No, I haven't.
up.
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
All right, so I was fit. I got unfit. I got
Shut
fit again.
up.
I got really, really,
Even
really
the unfit was like still looking good. Come on, bro.
Cap.
No cap.
I'm dead.
I'm fucking dead.
Anyway.
So wait, okay, so let's just say my theory is correct and you've been fit for most of your life, right?
Right.
What's motivated you? So I had to regain my confidence in order to start hustle like I am now, right? So what I mean, you've been on a hustle, right? Recently, or when do you think a hustle started or stopped for you?
I'm gonna go deep into this simply for the fact of because I kind of have to.
Okay.
So it's really funny though, but honestly, like back then I didn't know how to handle distractions and how to handle how do I love something and love another thing and then want to do that other thing but still have time for that other thing.
Are you talking about like a passion? How do you love doing this versus loving doing that? Is that what you're talking about, or are you talking about like people, loving people?
No. Like okay, so let's just say like getting into a relationship for me at the time that I was actually grinding was actually a really bad thing for me, and I didn't realize it. So it just became a huge distraction, and kind of set me apart to who I wanted to be.
Is that just because it wasn't the right woman? Or are you confident that it was the relationship that was just not good for you?
I can't really answer that, to be honest. I mean, because like it's a concoction of me and the woman I was
could
with
be
at
both.
the time. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? I got to take responsibility for that too. So, because I should have been on my shit and not letting anybody else kind of distract me from my purpose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but now at this time, I feel like it doesn't matter what comes along in my life. Like, I have an idea and I have a goal of what I want to get done. So I'm going to get it done. Whether you're with me or without me. Whether I got somebody or I don't. You know what I mean? So for me back then...
So is that self-love or what is that? Or like...
I think it was just being naive at the time.
Or is it part of that being older, being 27, being mature,
Yeah, it's just
knowing
like,
what you want?
I feel like I understand things better now. You know what I mean? Back then, I used to be, oh my God, I was the procrastination master. I am a god at procrastinating.
Man, y'all think 21's the dope age? Try being 27. And I'm not taking anything away from anybody that says there's another epiphany happening at 30, 35. I'm just saying right now.
That'd be cool too.
That would be fire. But I'm just saying right now, 27 years
Having
old.
an epiphany of my epiphany.
27 is the new 21. Yo, you're cool. You're 21. You could buy alcohol, go to strip clubs. Yo, wait till you hit 27.
You know what?
I'm
on some real shit, I really can't wait to be like 35 to 40. I feel like I can't wait.
I can't wait for it now that I'm on my grind now. Now, if I'm consistent with what I do, I feel like 35 is going to look really good. You know what I mean?
How can it not?
So we all go through our own challenges in life. And I really feel like in my experience, in my life, I feel like that has only made me that much greater of a person. All these adversities I've had in my life, I wouldn't give them up for the world because I love the mindset I have right now. I love what I got going on. Like, any lows that I run into at this point aren't so massive that they're going to derail me.
Right.
They're fixable. I'm in just such a great spot mentally that anything I could derail a negative. I could fix a negative. Like, good luck trying to fuck with me.
Right. I feel that.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just good luck. My mental, I got like, if y'all play Warzone, I got 3 plates. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, Bliss. So what do you got to tell everybody listening What is your resilience in the face of adversity? Or how do you gain resilience in the face of adversity?
I got an answer. If you're moving with a purpose, I feel like you'll find it in you to fend off any sort of negative energy, any sort of challenge that comes your way. If you're moving the way you want to move, if you got a good head, good morals, good belief system, that right there could conquer any sort of adversity that comes your way.